How clean are the American people?
What industries help keep them clean?
In which field could we do a lot better?
Industry on Parade. Peabody Award winner for public service, produced on film each week by the National Association of Manufacturers.
A display of early bathtubs. This is how they looked until American industry showed the world how to mass produce vastly improved models at a cost everyone could afford. Until then, a wooden tub was standard, though a Revolutionary War general rated a copper model. Even that was far from convenient. The struggle for cleanliness was difficult in those days. It had been throughout history until the dawn of the 20th century. Then along came the industrial innovations that soon would make ours the cleanest nation on earth. The earliest vacuum cleaners were awkward looking, but they were a big step forward. And they led to the millions of much more efficient models that quickly followed, each one better than the one before. Cleanliness long has been said to be next to godliness, but not until our own generation has it become a practical part of daily life, representing an important part of our soaring standard of living. Today, that standard of living here in America calls for the use of 60 gallons of water per day per person on the average. Water that supports the health of the body. We use 12 times the amount of water used by some primitive peoples. Our consumption of soaps and detergents for dishwashing, laundering, and general household cleaning keeps more than 250 manufacturing companies busy. Among the results of all this activity, a tremendous drop in the rate of infectious disease as compared with most of the rest of the world. And now let's take a closer look at some of the many industries involved in the achievement of cleanliness, starting at one of the nation's 34,000 dry cleaning establishments. So efficient has this business become that a single plant like this one will handle some 8,000 different items per day. The dry in dry cleaning means without water. But an assortment of other liquids is used, first by spotters who know how to analyze each stain and select the agent that will remove it. Improved chemicals now in use are free of odor and fire hazard. This department specializes in trousers only, handling 2,000 of them each day, while coats are the special province of another group, which presses some garments from the inside on inflated forms. 98% of us use dry cleaning services to the tune of nearly $2 billion annually. That's a lot of work, but none of it misses the sharp eyes of skilled inspectors who examine each garment and quickly return to the proper department any item needing more attention. To keep track of everything and to handle the heavy volume at low cost, the industry has devised such things as this segregator. Operated by one girl, it sorts thousands of items a day, directing them to the many delivery routes and branch stores.
New developments in the laundry industry flow constantly from the American Institute of Laundering, whose member companies do an annual business of more than $800 million. Here in Joliet, Illinois, new garments are tested for washability, strength, and many other factors. New equipment and techniques are tested simultaneously. While we're here, we might pick up a pointer from the professionals who use nylon washing bags to protect the garments. For scientific accuracy, all fabrics of a particular type, cotton, rayon, or whatever, must be washed exactly alike. Same kind of soap, same amount, same water temperature. Now, ironing. The missing sleeve was cut off earlier for other tests in the costly research program that ensures quality work for the millions who send laundry out. For the 44 million families who own their own home laundry equipment, industry also conducts elaborate research employing scientists, technicians, and home economists like this expert who works for an appliance manufacturer. It's her job to extend still further the usefulness of the washing machine, dryer, and other related equipment, which already has eliminated nearly all the back-breaking drudgery so long associated with wash day. As the textile industry came up with new fabrics, so the appliance industry developed new machines to handle them, machines so useful that they're now sold at the rate of some 5 million a year. Meanwhile, the suppliers of soap for use in the machines were entering an entirely new manufacturing era. After using fats as a raw material almost exclusively for years, they turned to chemicals and devised synthetic detergents like the one being produced here. Within 10 years of their first large-scale introduction, detergents had captured some 70% of the total dollar market. Millions have been invested in the plants needed to fill the growing demand, just as millions had to be invested in the early research that made the detergents possible. Where did the millions come from? From profits plowed back into the business, and from investors willing to risk their savings in hope of future reward. The result of this investment is a highly competitive, fast-growing industry employing thousands of American workers and supplying millions of consumers and industrial users with products that are essential to the cleanliness for which we're famous. Another item essential to the nation's housekeeping, and now found in the vast majority of American homes, is the vacuum cleaner. One firm alone has turned out more than 10 million of these appliances, which can be purchased by the average factory worker for less than the amount of 1 week's pay. What a long way industry has brought us, from the primitive, expensive vacuums we saw a few minutes ago to the sleek, powerful models in wide use today. Mass-produced, but tested individually to assure maximum performance. Mass-produced at this plant are fixtures like the lavatories here being prepared for kiln drying. To keep the clay from sagging, braces are inserted. Then the whole load will be trundled into a high-temperature oven big enough to handle at one time the huge production orders that go with a high rate of housing construction. They'll come out sparkling, fixtures now priced within every budget, though money couldn't buy their equal in the days before the high-volume, low-cost output of modern industry. Industry has even improved on the lowly floor mop, turning out in minutes a number that once took hours. Four miles of steel wire are used each shift just in this one operation, binding the yarns together and giving the mop head its shape. The yarns, by the way, are more absorbent than they once were because the cotton is covered with tough, thirsty cellulose sponge. A few minutes more and the mop will be ready for its handle. Another of the many industrial products that help keep the homes we live in so spotlessly clean. Meanwhile, industry itself is busy with housekeeping of its own to protect its products and to protect its workers' health. One of our largest steel mills, for example, keeps special trucks constantly in operation, hauling away refuse placed in bins designed for the purpose. There are 11 miles of road in and around this plant, swept clean every day by big cleaners that aren't exactly what you'd want around the house, but are just right for jobs of this size. Inside, a smaller version of the sweeper goes back and forth through a building that's half a mile long. The result is a clean, safe place to work. Factory housekeeping being an important factor in industry's impressive safety record.
And now let's sample a few of the many products that industry cleans over and over again during manufacture. Emerging from a frothy bath, this airplane propeller must be absolutely clean before it goes to the electroplating solutions that will protect it and give it proper balance. Because of the weight of a propeller blade and the length, special hydraulic lifts have been designed, capable of elevating more than 200 pounds some 10 feet into the air, while moving a number of such loads along, then lowering them again, up and down through a variety of sprays, baths, and rinses. 25 big blades can be handled simultaneously by the complex conveyors of this large-scale industrial laundry, which does its work as easily as a home automatic cleans a load of Junior's t-shirts. Nearly everything industry produces has to be cleaned at least once, and usually more often than that, before it's ready for wrapping or packing in preparation for shipping. The careful attention to cleanliness in food processing is well known, of course. The cleaning of fruits and vegetables at this one New Jersey plant alone, requiring 10 million gallons of water daily. Safe disposal of the waste is accomplished through natural filtration outside the plant. In the processing of food products that cannot be washed, such things as dairy items, for example, special care is taken to keep the equipment spotless. To ensure completely sanitary processing, even the most complicated machinery is dismantled once every 24 hours for thorough cleaning and sterilizing. Whatever comes into contact with the product is taken apart and restored to absolute cleanliness. They even climb inside the tanks and scrub them down. These industrial cleaners, whose thoroughness is symbolic of industry's large-scale efforts on behalf of a clean, bright, and healthy America. But there's still a lot to be done in keeping America clean. That's obvious from the rubbish this cleaning crew uncovers along a busy highway. But industry's example, and industrial products like the super vacuum cleaner that will pick up everything but the roadbed itself, show us the cleanliness already accomplished in our homes, offices, and factories can be achieved in the great outdoors as well. When we have accomplished out of doors what already has been achieved in our homes, offices, and factories, our country will look like what it is, scene of the highest, most widely enjoyed standard of living anywhere on earth.
American industry, builder of a better tomorrow, has presented Industry on Parade, a service of the National Association of Manufacturers.